The world of television has lost one of its brightest stars. Actor Eric Dane, the man who captivated millions on the blockbuster show Grey's Anatomy, has tragically passed away. Eric Dane was only 53 years old, and his heartbreaking death comes nearly a full year after he courageously announced his diagnosis with ALS. In the glittering world of Hollywood, deep personal tragedies often play out behind a veil of secrecy, far from the relentless glare of the spotlight. So what unfolds when two of television's most iconic co-stars are struck by an unimaginable loss, and one of them finally breaks a long, painful silence to share what really happened? In his own words, he shared his powerful motto, "Live now, right now, in the present, fighting till your last breath. This disease is slowly taking my body, but it will never take my spirit." This story cuts far deeper than the usual celebrity headlines or shallow gossip. It pulls back the curtain to reveal the profound humanity of the actors we've welcomed into our living rooms for years. Prepare yourself for Pompeo's profoundly emotional reflections on the devastating loss of her cherished friend, Eric Dane, sharing details of a story that has remained a closely guarded secret until this very moment. The initial shock was immense and the mystery was immediate. News of Eric Dane's tragic death sent a seismic shockwave through Hollywood and among his legions of devoted fans across the globe. While the specifics were kept tightly under wraps at first, the sheer abruptness of the tragedy left many with a deep and unsettling feeling. Eric Dane, forever known to millions as the charming Dr. Mark Sloan on Grey's Anatomy, had cemented his place as a beloved personality, admired for his work on screen and his character off-screen. The collective disbelief wasn't just about his passing, but also about the deafening silence that fell over those who were closest to him in the immediate aftermath. This complete absence of any public comment only added new, troubling layers of mystery and speculation, forcing everyone to wonder what painful secrets were being held behind closed doors. In the days that followed the devastating news, social media became a whirlwind of heartfelt tributes and pressing questions, yet a clear picture of the circumstances failed to emerge. His circle of friends and co-stars remained almost entirely silent, withholding any details as they navigated their personal grief far from the public eye. The subsequent intense media storm veered from respectful obituaries to invasive probing articles, which only underscored how exposed and vulnerable his loved ones truly felt. This initial silence kept viewers and loyal fans on edge as they attempted to piece together the final chapter of a life that had seemed so incredibly vibrant and full only weeks earlier. Faint whispers from industry insiders began to circulate, suggesting the full story was both devastatingly heartbreaking and incredibly complicated, which only deepened the intrigue. Pompeo, who had shared the screen and a powerful bond with Eric Dane for many years, was conspicuously and completely silent during this turbulent time. Her silence, while understandable in the face of such grief, also ignited a flicker of hope that eventually crucial insight would come from someone who was so intimately connected to his world. The profound impact this loss had on her was glaringly obvious to anyone who had followed their intertwined careers and friendship over the years. But the pressing question of why she opted to remain so quiet for so long remained unanswered. This quiet period felt like the calm before a monumental storm building, an intense sense of anticipation that something deeply meaningful would be shared when the time was right. As the public held its breath and waited, one thing was absolutely certain. The most important part of the truth was still buried, waiting to be revealed. The already mysterious atmosphere surrounding the situation grew even heavier with each passing day. Eric Dane had navigated a series of personal challenges that became public knowledge over the past few years, even as he fought to keep his most critical moments private. His openness about some of his health issues and personal battles had inspired his fans, giving them a powerful sense of hope that he was winning his toughest fights. The majority of media reports respectfully kept their distance, choosing to celebrate his professional legacy and focusing on his career achievements instead of speculating about his personal life. The situation was handled with a rare dignity, largely because of the respectful space that most people were willing to provide to his family and friends. Nevertheless, they waited, hoping for answers that would bring clarity to their questions. People were desperate to understand how his closest friends were coping, particularly Ellen Pompeo, who had journeyed with him through so many shared professional and personal milestones. The silence around the tragedy served two purposes. It fueled widespread speculation while simultaneously demonstrating a depth of emotional suffering that no words could ever adequately express. The resulting emotional pain was a palpable collective heartbreak that resonated with everyone who had admired him from near or far. It left an everlasting impact on everyone who cared for him, a wound that time alone might not fully heal. People continued to wait to understand the full picture as there was no direct or official explanation of the sequence of events that had transpired. Eric Dane's death powerfully reignited essential and long overdue discussions about mental health struggles and privacy rights within the high-stakes entertainment industry. For years, countless talented individuals in Hollywood had suffered through their own mental health crises in the shadows, fearing judgment or career repercussions. His passing became a tragic but urgent wake-up call, drawing massive attention to the critical need for more robust support systems for actors and crew members alike. The shock of the situation served as a stark and dangerous reminder that behind the picture-perfect veneer of Hollywood glamour, there often exists a hidden world of real emotional anguish. This is a kind of profound distress that so many feel pressured to keep concealed from the world. This tragic turn of events served as a poignant part of the ongoing human narrative about how people reveal their vulnerabilities while discovering their strength in times of immense personal difficulty. The eventual impact of her words was destined to echo far beyond the initial shockwave of the news, promising to deliver both clarity and a sense of closure to a deeply painful chapter. The unbreakable bond of Ellen Pompeo and Eric Dane. The connection shared between Ellen Pompeo and Eric Dane was truly special, a bond that stretched far beyond their professional status as television co-stars. After spending so many years working side by side on the set of Grey's Anatomy, their professional relationship blossomed into an incredibly close and personal friendship. It was a bond built on a solid foundation of mutual admiration, shared pressures, and countless collective experiences. While their on-screen characters were often caught in a whirlwind of dramatic and intense storylines, it was their genuine off-screen connection that truly came to define their relationship. Those who worked alongside them consistently described a friendship overflowing with unwavering support, infectious laughter, and a deep understanding that helped them both survive the relentless pressures of the entertainment industry. Their profound connection was a testament to a rare and lasting partnership, something almost unheard of in the fast-paced, often fleeting world of Hollywood. The pair grew especially close while navigating the intense, grueling workload of the hit medical drama, a job that frequently demanded incredibly long hours and a serious emotional investment. Both actors came to rely on one another as they navigated the difficult tightrope of balancing their skyrocketing professional careers with their private personal lives. Their friendship became a sanctuary from the spotlight, a safe harbour where they could let their guards down and truly be their authentic selves. This deeply established foundation of trust is precisely what made the devastating loss of Eric Dane a profoundly personal blow for Ellen, shaking one of her most reliable anchors in a notoriously public life. In numerous interviews, Ellen has openly discussed just how fundamentally important Eric was to her, not only on a professional level, but as a cornerstone of her emotional support system. They frequently gave the public glimpses into their bond during interviews and joint appearances, revealing the incredible depth of their shared admiration for one another. Eric's constant encouragement served as a significant source of strength for her during challenging periods, a favour she always returned in kind. Their remarkable bond extended far beyond the pages of a script, representing a true friendship that successfully weathered the many highs and crushing lows of the entertainment business. Friends and fellow co-stars have consistently remarked on the genuine, heartfelt care and profound concern that Ellen always showed for Eric throughout his well-publicised personal struggles. The quiet, private moments they shared revealed a much softer, more vulnerable side of their relationship that was seldom seen by the general public. This deeply personal layer of connection is what gave her eventual public statement such incredible weight, highlighting a grief that was raw and intensely felt. In this light, Ellen's initial silence wasn't just about processing a loss. It was about respectfully honouring a friendship that had profoundly and irrevocably shaped the course of her life. The powerful way Eric Dane influenced Ellen's life vividly illustrates how long-term cast members often build unshakable friendships with each other over time. The show Grey's Anatomy has become famous for creating many of these relationships which the actors openly display through their family-like camaraderie. Ellen, more than anyone, has often been credited as the driving force behind fostering this uniquely close-knit and supportive atmosphere on set. Eric's death impacted her on so many different levels, primarily because he was a cherished member of her most intimately connected social circle. The entire cast and crew felt a deep and profound sense of loss as an absolutely essential and beloved member of their team was suddenly gone. They managed to maintain their strong work relationships by consistently celebrating each other's major life events and actively helping one another through family issues and career transitions. Even with their demanding schedules, the two friends ensured their friendship remained strong through frequent phone calls and regular conversations. This simple act was a clear demonstration of their genuine and unwavering concern for each other's health and happiness. The tragedy was made infinitely more painful because it was simultaneously a very public death for the world to observe and a deeply private loss between two dear friends who had known each other for years. Ellen's eventual choice to speak publicly about her loss was a decision rooted in the powerful emotional bond she shared not just with Eric, but with their entire on-set family. Ellen's poignant reflections showcase her deep understanding of grief, blending her own personal experience with universally relatable human emotions. Her words about Eric's passing powerfully articulated the feelings of anyone who has ever lost a loved one who was suddenly and tragically taken from their life. The profound empathy she demonstrates for people outside of the celebrity bubble is what makes her message so accessible and resonant for international audiences. The sheer strength of their relationship highlights how people can form powerful bonds through their shared human experiences, regardless of fame. Ultimately, her tribute was not just a formal acknowledgement of a colleague's passing, but a deeply emotional eulogy for a cherished friend whose absence left an irreplaceable void in her life. Behind the scenes of a show like Grey's Anatomy, the real life on set is frequently as dramatic and emotionally charged as the stories viewers watch on their screens. For stars Ellen Pompeo and Eric Dane, the television set quickly became something much more than just a workplace. It transformed into a shared home where creativity, immense pressure, and an unexpected, beautiful friendship could all coexist. The combination of grueling hours and incredibly high stakes created an intense environment where absolute trust and seamless collaboration were completely essential for survival. This unique atmosphere helped to forge incredibly deep personal connections among the actors, nurturing a special kind of family both on and off the camera. The incredible demands of starring in a long-running successful medical drama impose not only rigorous schedules but also significant emotional tolls. Scenes often force actors to portray moments of extreme stress, life or death, medical crises, and incredibly complicated relationships. This shared emotional labour meant that Ellen and Eric began to depend on each other, not just to get through their scenes professionally, but for vital support to get through the most challenging days. It was within the crucible of these intensely demanding experiences that their friendship grew into something truly unbreakable. Theirs was a partnership built on a foundation of shared resilience and a profound unspoken understanding of each other's struggles. Yet beyond all the pressures and the dramatic storylines, the set also provided priceless moments of levity and genuine camaraderie. Cast members were constantly sharing jokes, celebrating personal milestones together, and offering a shoulder to lean on during difficult times. This dynamic mixture of seriousness and fun helped to balance the incredibly intense nature of their work, and Ellen and Eric often found great comfort in these lighter moments, which only served to strengthen their extraordinary connection. Their connection blossomed in an environment where they could be both incredibly joyful and deeply vulnerable with one another. The producers and crew were also instrumental in cultivating this sense of safety and support. For years, those who worked alongside them have consistently applauded the Grey's Anatomy production for how it evolved to place a premium on the cast and crew's mental health and overall well-being. This progressive culture paved the way for unfiltered dialogue and built an unshakable sense of solidarity among everyone on set. Both Ellen and Eric drew strength from this nurturing atmosphere, which became a vital anchor helping them navigate their own personal storms. Naturally, life on a high-stakes television set was not always smooth sailing. Like any pressure cooker workplace, it came with its share of inevitable clashes and emotional fatigue. However, paradoxically facing these very difficulties often forged an even tighter and more resilient bond among the cast. It was widely known that Ellen and Eric frequently stepped in to mediate tensions and elevate spirits whenever the stress became overwhelming. Their unique positions as both respected leaders and genuine friends made them unwavering pillars of support for the entire Grey's Anatomy family. The raw honesty and vulnerability they were unafraid to show behind the scenes translated into a remarkable depth and authenticity in their on-screen performances. The dynamic between Ellen and Eric served as a masterclass in maintaining impeccable professional standards while simultaneously cultivating a friendship that was genuine to its very core. While they were both clear about establishing personal boundaries, they also possessed an intuitive understanding of when a friend simply needed comfort and support. The two of them had an extraordinary and rare capacity to be there for each other. Whether they were weathering the storm of public scrutiny or tackling intensely private challenges away from the cameras, their powerful bond served as a poignant reminder that every performer is first and foremost a human being navigating a complex tapestry of real feelings. The massive audience fascination with their incredible on-screen chemistry undoubtedly added another layer of pressure, yet it also seemed to strengthen their real-life bond. Fans became so deeply invested in the connection their characters shared because it felt like an authentic reflection of the profound friendship they shared in real life. The outpouring of positive feedback they received not only validated their on-screen dynamic, but also fortified their dedication to the series and, perhaps more importantly, to one another. Theirs was a deeply connected journey, an evolving partnership that defined their entire tenure on the show together. Away from the set, Ellen and Eric constantly demonstrated their commitment to health and wellness by tirelessly working with various advocacy organisations and charities throughout their demanding schedules. This shared partnership in philanthropy, entirely separate from their entertainment careers, underscored their common values and a mutual dedication to creating positive social transformation. This commitment to making a difference adds an even richer and more profound dimension to their enduring friendship and the immense respect they held for each other, as Ellen gradually started to speak out after a long period of public quiet. The powerful reasons behind her silent strength and the profound nature of her connection to Eric's story became heartbreakingly clear. That silence. Everyone wondered why she waited to speak. Grief is an intensely personal journey. And for Ellen Pompeo, the choice to remain silent after Eric Dane's passing was a testament to that truth. She chose to wrestle with the devastating loss of a dear friend and beloved colleague, far from the prying eyes of the public, knowing perfectly well that no public statement could ever encapsulate the intricate and overwhelming complexity of her emotions. Her quiet was never about avoidance. It was a profound act of honouring the private sacred nature of the bond they had shared for so many years. In the world of Hollywood, where personal lives are so often on public display, choosing quiet reflection is an act that requires immense courage. Ellen's deliberate restraint was a powerful demonstration of respect not only for Eric's memory, but also for the delicate mourning process of his family and those closest to him. Another major factor contributing to her silence was the predictably overwhelming nature of the media frenzy that follows such a tragedy. In highly charged moments like these, official statements can be tragically misconstrued or taken out of context, leading to even more emotional turmoil for those already suffering. Ellen undoubtedly understood that releasing a thoughtful and meaningful message would require time and a great deal of healing. The immense responsibility of speaking on behalf of a cherished friend can be just as intense as the grief itself. Waiting afforded her the crucial space she needed to prepare both emotionally and mentally. for a moment that demanded complete authenticity, free from any hint of public exploitation. Moreover, Ellen's own deeply held beliefs about mental health awareness and the right to privacy heavily influenced her approach. She has long been a vocal advocate for exercising compassion and discretion when people face personal struggles, reflecting a core belief that some experiences are better processed far away from the harsh glare of public scrutiny. Her silence carefully navigated the tension between public curiosity and the sanctity of private healing. It signalled a firm boundary, one set not just for herself, but out of the deepest respect owed to Eric's lasting legacy. This period of reflection reinforced the fundamental understanding that true grief is neither immediate nor is it a performance for an audience. Friends within Ellen's inner circle reported that she spent much of this time in quiet contemplation, surrounded by the unwavering support of her family and most trusted confidants. In the dazzling world of Hollywood, where glamour and fame often mask the truth, some stories are just too raw to stay hidden. This protective bubble allowed her to navigate the depths of her sorrow without the added pressure of a public stage. It also served as a stark reminder of how grief can be profoundly isolating, even for those who are constantly in the public eye. In this case, her silence was a protective cocoon, enabling Ellen to eventually find the precise words that would resonate with truth and sincerity when the time was finally right. The consideration of any statement had to include a careful assessment of its potential impact on the many people who had deep emotional connections to Eric Dane. Ellen's reputation as a respected figure in the industry meant she had a profound duty to maintain complete honesty while delicately navigating an incredibly sensitive subject. Had she spoken out prematurely, it would have inflicted profound suffering upon those whose own paths to healing required more time and privacy. Her ultimate decision to voice her personal experiences became her defining public moment, a carefully orchestrated move designed to foster a sense of collective recovery. In the months that followed, Ellen began to cultivate the emotional fortitude and clarity necessary to articulate her thoughts to the world. Those closest to her, including friends and fellow cast members, observed her growing stronger and more prepared to face the inevitable questions the public would have. The entire experience slowly transitioned from a state of solitary private grief into a shared public remembrance, a gradual evolution that culminated in a powerful and unmistakable shift. The intricate process of grieving is known to manifest in various stages, with each one unfolding at its own unique and often unpredictable pace. Ellen's initial choice to remain silent was a testament to her profound respect for the delicate nature of the storytelling process itself, which properly allows storytellers the necessary time to fully process their own complex experiences before sharing that narrative with others. Individuals who rush to speak before their own story has fully settled often discover that the raw power of their experience becomes diluted or less authentic. Her deliberate patience demonstrates a deep wisdom and understanding that the most profound chapters of life and loss require a period of quiet reflection to be narrated meaningfully. The powerful reverberations from Ellen Pompeo's decision to finally speak out travelled far beyond her immediate circle of friends and colleagues, fundamentally reshaping the reactions of both the public and the industry in ways that mirrored the true complexity of loss. The reactions from the public and the industry were instantaneous. The very moment Ellen Pompeo broke her long-held silence, the response was both immediate and incredibly sincere. Across all social media platforms, fans unleashed a torrent of supportive messages, universally celebrating her remarkable honesty and immense personal courage. Countless individuals felt compelled to share their own personal tales of heartbreak, forging a deep connection with the raw vulnerability she so bravely put on display. This incredible wave of collective empathy elevated the entire conversation, transforming it from typical celebrity news into a genuine event of communal healing. Ellen's voice effectively built a bridge between intensely private sorrow and public mourning, which made the universal experience of loss feel far more accessible and deeply resonant. Within the close-knit world of the entertainment industry, her colleagues also responded with widespread admiration and profound respect for Ellen's candour. Actors, producers and crew members alike commended her for choosing to speak in a way that beautifully honoured Eric Dane's enduring legacy while illuminating the heavy emotional burden of losing a close friend. A significant number of them highlighted the critical importance of cultivating a more supportive atmosphere for people who are coping with grief behind the camera's glare. Ellen's public statement became a potent catalyst for revitalised discussions about mental wellness and support systems inside Hollywood's notoriously demanding culture. The overall tone of the media coverage underwent a significant and noticeable transformation following Ellen's remarks. Rather than fixating on rampant speculation or other sensationalised and lurid details, news reports began to place a much greater emphasis on the poignant human narrative that was at the heart of the tragedy. Prompted directly by her candid and heartfelt reflections, highly reputable outlets dedicated significant coverage to exploring the deep themes of friendship loss and the long journey toward recovery. This fundamental shift in the media narrative was instrumental in fostering a more widespread public understanding of the often hidden anguish that celebrities frequently endure in silence. The media's role in this story evolved from that of a detached observer into an empathetic participant in a national conversation that was desperately needed and long overdue. For a great many fans, Ellen's words finally offered a profound sense of closure that they had been hoping to find for a long time. Her courage in finally breaking her silence effectively cleared the air of swirling rumours and damaging misconceptions, which allowed for more genuine and heartfelt expressions of grief. Online memorials and tribute posts surged dramatically after her statement was released, clearly illustrating how her singular voice had galvanised a powerful shared sense of remembrance. It also served to underscore the incredibly powerful role that celebrities can play in humanising extremely difficult and often taboo subjects for the general public. Industry experts and insiders widely confirmed that Ellen utilised impeccable timing to generate the most significant possible effect with her actions. She understood the need to wait until she had fully processed the topic herself before she could effectively present her message to the global public. Her thoughtfully crafted message was guaranteed to attract far more sincere attention after the initial storm of the media frenzy had finally died down. The public deeply admired her unique capacity to show her own vulnerability while simultaneously projecting an image of incredible strength. They saw it as clear and convincing evidence of her advanced emotional maturity and her profound ability to understand the feelings of others on a deep level. Through her careful and measured method, she forged a novel blueprint that allows public figures to navigate their personal losses while creating positive outcomes for themselves and their audiences. Ellen's brave decision to share her own personal experiences with mental health challenges brought a much-needed spotlight to the urgent need for mental health education within Hollywood, an industry that is well known for operating under constant and relentless pressure. Her statement initiated crucial discussions that strongly motivated major studios and networks to reevaluate their established methods of providing assistance to their staff during incredibly challenging situations. This ongoing conversation ultimately produced permanent institutional changes that significantly increased the available support and overall understanding for individuals who are experiencing emotional difficulties. The tragic passing of Eric Dane was an event that deeply affected not only his personal life, but also sent shockwaves through the entire Hollywood industry. Numerous fans and commentators pointed out that people working in this industry often need to cultivate a particular kind of resilience that permits them to reveal their true selves. Ellen made the conscious choice to show her most authentic self despite going through distressing moments, a move which many regarded as an incredibly impactful demonstration of genuine leadership. The newfound openness that was sparked by Ellen's words ultimately paved the way for a much broader and more compassionate understanding of grief's profound impact within the entertainment community and far beyond. Navigating the treacherous waters of grief in the heart of Hollywood in Tinseltown, mourning isn't just a private affair, it's a public spectacle where personal loss is magnified under the unblinking lens of millions. Consider the incredibly difficult position of a star like Ellen Pompeo. When she lost her dear friend Eric Dane, she was forced to walk a tightrope between her own profound sorrow and the constant demands of public scrutiny. The entire world is watching, weighing in with opinions and demanding a statement, a response that rarely fits the messy, authentic reality of grieving. It all culminates in a high-stakes pressure cooker where showing any vulnerability is a double-edged sword. It can be a path to healing or a gateway to public exposure, making the act of coping a truly labyrinthine challenge. Caught in this intense spotlight, the fundamental human need to mourn in private often conflicts directly with the public's insatiable appetite for transparency and a sense of closure. Famous figures are constantly put under a microscope, judged for every single detail of how they manage their loss. If they remain silent, they're criticised for being cold. If they speak out too quickly, they're accused of seeking attention. This impossible situation just piles on more stress when what they truly need is emotional breathing room. Ellen's decision to take her time before speaking publicly showed she had a sharp understanding of this no-win scenario. Her actions underscored the absolute necessity of creating personal boundaries as a vital act of self-preservation. It's an open secret in the entertainment world that there's a significant stigma attached to showing grief, openly a problem that becomes even more pronounced when mental health is part of the equation. The industry's obsession with perfection and an image of unbreakable resilience often pushes the raw, untidy truth of loss into the shadows. This environment fosters a deep sense of isolation where stars feel compelled to mask their genuine emotions just to uphold their carefully crafted public personas. Shattering this harmful stigma is a gradual but essential battle, and Ellen's ultimate willingness to be vulnerable was a major step forward in that fight. The level of support available in Hollywood is incredibly inconsistent. Some film sets and shows provide access to counsellors and wellness programs, while many others offer absolutely no safety net. On a long-running series like Grey's Anatomy, for instance, the people you work with day in and day out can become a second family, offering a crucial lifeline of emotional support when a crisis hits. The powerful bond between Ellen and Eric was nurtured within this kind of supportive network, but even so, the relentless demands of the industry still leave countless individuals exposed and vulnerable. This stark reality highlights the urgent need for more standardised and thorough support systems for performers and crew members dealing with grief and trauma. For stars who don't have a tight-knit circle of social support, expressing their grief publicly becomes an even more daunting and isolating experience. When colleagues manage to forge truly deep and trusting relationships, they effectively create a safe haven where genuine emotions can be shared and processed without judgment. The foundation of Ellen's friendship with Eric was built on authentic, direct connection, which allowed them to form a deep mutual understanding. Once again, without that immediate circle of trust, the challenge of mourning under the public gaze intensifies dramatically. Their experiences serve as a powerful testament to the widespread need for better, more accessible support systems across the industry and society at large. For any performer trying to keep working while grieving, the situation is complicated by a multitude of unique professional pressures. Actors often feel an immense pressure to show up and perform even when they're in emotional turmoil driven by the fear that their job security is on the line if they don't. This show must go on mentality is a direct path to professional burnout, which inevitably slows down the healing process. Ellen herself felt this immense strain trying to juggle her demanding professional commitments while simultaneously processing her profound personal loss. Acknowledging this intense pressure helps the public truly grasp the incredible fortitude required for public figures to continue their work in the face of devastating personal tragedy. In the end, Ellen Pompeo's deeply personal reflections transcended her own sorrow, creating a powerful message that offered inspiration and comfort to countless others affected by tragedy. It was a message centered on healing and profound hope. When Ellen Pompeo at last broke her silence about Eric Dane's death, her words were infused with more than just grief. They delivered a potent message of resilience, healing, and hope. She fully recognised the profound depth of the loss, while also highlighting the vital importance of remembering him and moving forward with a compassionate heart. Her candid thoughts went far beyond her own personal mourning process. They resonated on a universal level, encouraging everyone to see vulnerability not as a weakness, but as a courageous step on the road to recovery. This act of courage and openness carved out a safe space where so many others lost in their own struggles could feel truly seen and understood. Ellen also shared her immense gratitude for the precious time she had with Eric, speaking to the indelible mark he left on her life and on everyone he knew. She emphasised how crucial it is to cherish the memories and to honour him by carrying forward the incredibly positive spirit he always embodied. By focusing on his legacy, she offered a beautiful way to transform agonising pain into something deeply meaningful, reminding the world that true love always endures even after loss. Her message was a call to action to honour those we've lost by living our own lives more fully and with greater compassion. And she also stressed that community and human connection are lifelines during hard times. Ellen made it crystal clear that the journey of healing is not one you can take in isolation. Instead, it is found through shared empathy and unwavering support. She urged her audience to reach out to truly listen and to simply be present for anyone who is navigating the darkness of grief. This kind of public reminder is essential for nurturing a culture of compassion that ultimately enriches not just individuals but our society as a whole. It's also a clear reflection of Ellen's own profound commitment to cultivating relationships that are built on a foundation of genuine understanding and kindness. In confronting her own devastating grief, Ellen made the courageous choice not to turn away from the chaotic emotional storm that inevitably follows a profound loss. On the contrary, she fully embraced the entire tangled web of feelings, the overwhelming sadness, the flashes of anger, and even those rare, quiet moments of peace. This incredibly honest depiction lent a powerful authenticity to her words, striking a deep chord with anyone who knows from experience that healing is almost never a straight or simple path. Through this remarkable candour, she showcased a form of strength that is built upon courageous acceptance rather than fearful denial. It became evident that by using her personal story, Ellen Pompeo was championing mental health awareness and education, which played a direct role in diminishing the damaging stigma around the issue. Through her heartfelt work, her personal storytelling transformed her into a leading advocate for more compassionate dialogue surrounding the experience of grief. Her message serves as a powerful wake-up call to people working in high-pressure jobs, and this is particularly true for those navigating the intense environment of Hollywood. It's a call to prioritise self-care and to seek out medical assistance without carrying the heavy burden of guilt. Her vulnerable expressions allowed her to forge a powerful connection between her own private emotional suffering and the critical need for greater public empathy. Ellen's core message beautifully illustrated the concept of resilience, which defines the incredible capacity of people to endure immense challenges and even find a new sense of purpose within their struggles. She spoke directly to the flicker of hope that can ignite even in the bleakest of times, offering a guiding light to others who are still navigating their own darkness. The very theme of resilience highlights the fact that when people lose something invaluable, they are plunged into two distinct emotional states, both of which bring immense suffering. And yet it is that same experience that paradoxically allows them to evolve, rebuild, and ultimately restore their sense of self. The human spirit seems to possess an innate, remarkable ability that empowers people to recover from their greatest challenges as they find a way to continue their journey through life. Ellen skillfully used her own reflective journey to create a space for communal healing, warmly inviting fans and viewers to join in honouring Eric Dane through a shared collective memory, all while they found the strength to continue living their own lives. The pathway she carved out by intertwining her grief with moments of joy gives others a roadmap to face their own loss with profound strength and dignity. This type of public statement offers both deep comfort and renewed strength to individuals who feel their own experiences with loss have become too much to possibly bear alone. This profoundly heartfelt message truly sets the stage for a wider conversation about the lasting legacy of Eric Dane and how Ellen's immense courage might reshape perceptions of grief both within Hollywood's walls and far beyond. It is a story of legacy, but also one of the challenging yet necessary process of moving forward. Eric Dane's incredible impact on television and on the lives of those who knew him personally stretched far beyond his collection of memorable roles. As an exceptionally talented actor, he brought a captivating depth and charisma to all of his performances, especially in his iconic turn as the unforgettable Dr. Mark Sloan on Grey's Anatomy, where he became a truly irreplaceable part of the show's very heart. His characters resonated so deeply with fans because of their rich complexity and humanity, which made his sudden passing all the more heartbreaking. But the legacy that Eric Dane leaves behind is so much more than just his catalogue of work. It is the genuine warmth, the quiet kindness, and the incredible resilience he displayed off-screen that so many people remember most vividly. Now, Ellen Pompeo's brave openness about her grief is helping to cement that personal legacy in an entirely new and meaningful way. By sharing her most intimate reflections, she is transforming her private sorrow into a powerful collective act of remembrance, inviting millions of people to honour the life of Eric Dane with true empathy and a deeper sense of understanding. Her words are actively encouraging a major shift in how grief is discussed within the entertainment industry, promoting radical honesty over the traditional culture of stoic silence. This important evolution not only preserves the memory of Eric Dane, but also nurtures a far more compassionate and supportive environment for others who are facing a similar kind of pain. Eric Dane's impact now extends into the urgent conversations being sparked about mental health and the critical need for better support systems within the Hollywood community. His passing served as a tragic and powerful reminder of the desperate need for improved resources and truly safe spaces where individuals can express their vulnerability without fearing professional judgment or devastating career repercussions. Ellen's sheer courage in sharing her personal story is directly helping to tear down these long-standing, damaging stigmas, which in turn encourages much greater openness and honesty at every single level of the entire industry. This massive cultural change may well become one of the most vital components of Eric Dane's enduring influence, because a true legacy also means inspiring the generations yet to come. And there is no doubt that Eric Dane's own story is filled with powerful lessons about finding resilience in the midst of unimaginable hardship. His profound willingness to be open and honest about his own struggles offered a powerful new model of strength that deeply resonates with countless people. By speaking so candidly, Ellen Pompeo is now adding her influential voice to this ongoing conversation, demonstrating how acknowledging one's grief is in itself a tremendous act of bravery. Their combined stories inspire audiences everywhere to finally confront pain with courage rather than simply retreating into denial. The specific way Ellen is choosing to address her loss demonstrates how anyone can transform their personal grief into a proactive movement for greater social awareness. Her powerful reflections are helping to reframe the entire conversation, moving it beyond just mourning and toward the vital subjects of healing and hope. The public's collective perspective on Eric Dane is what keeps his memory so vividly alive, ensuring his impact extends far beyond his immediate circle of friends and family. This entire story has a universal application touching everyone who has ever suffered a great loss or experienced the difficult challenges that come with mental health issues. Audiences everywhere gain a much deeper, more nuanced understanding of grief when influential public figures like Ellen bravely show their own vulnerability to the world. We are about to see that even the biggest stars are not immune to profound human emotions, revealing the painful reality of their heartbreaks and the arduous journey they take toward healing. This raw look into their lives completely dismantles the myth that celebrities are untouchable figures living above the fray of ordinary struggles. In turn, it fosters a much deeper, more authentic sense of empathy for them as real people. Ellen Pompeo courageously shared Eric Dane's deeply personal story, offering the world a look into his private grief in a way that profoundly reshapes our collective understanding of loss. Ellen Pompeo's incredibly candid and emotional account of Eric Dane's devastating loss serves as a powerful reminder of how vital honesty and genuine empathy are in the long process of healing from tragedy. Her bravery in shattering the silence casts a necessary spotlight on the intricate and often misunderstood nature of grief, urging all of us to handle such profound loss with greater compassion. If this powerful story touched your heart, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing for more compelling content that delves into the stories that truly define the human experience.